Welcome into the Bloomington Ice Center and Joe Olson Ice Rink. L.A. Decker with you, getting set for Illinois State Redbird Hockey on Hall of Fame Saturday here in downtown Bloomington. The opponent tonight, again, the pride of Purdue Northwest University. Winners last night over Illinois State by a 1-0 score. The shutout win for Cooper Olson for the Pride. Cole Walter played well in goal, stopping 29 of 30 Pride shots, but does pick up his second loss of the season. Tonight's goaltender matchup looks like a good one. Larkin Dolan, 5'11", 175 on a normal. He'll be opposed by Caleb Krill, 6'2", 170 out of Whitmore, Lake Michigan. And we'll tell you more about those two goaltenders coming up in just a little bit. Redbirds looking to salvage the split of the weekend series. The Pride looking to head back to Hammond, Indiana with a sweep of Illinois State on this final full weekend of October. Let's get the starting lineups in the opening face-off as we go to the public address announcer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bloomington Ice Center and the Joe Olson Ice Rink in tonight's ACHA Division I matchup between the visiting Pride of Purdue Northwest University and your Illinois State Redbirds. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups first. For the visitors from Hammond, Indiana, please welcome the Pride of Purdue Northwest University. On defense, number 8, Benji Rutkai, and number 36, Carter Hobbs. The forwards, number 17, Anthony Bagnoli, number 27, Jared Topol, and number 28, Bryce Jacobson. Starting in goal for the Pride is number 31, Caleb Krill. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Illinois State Redbirds. On defense is number 4, Jackson Schaefer. And number 55, Declan McDermott. The forwards, number 15, Pavel Bakhtin. Number 17, Ryan Callahan. And number 90, Aiden Basetic. And starting in goal for your Redbirds is number 31, Larkin Dolan. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, to direct your attention to center ice for tonight's ceremonial face-off. Conducting tonight's ceremonial face-off is a member of the ISU Hockey fraternity from 1973 to 77 and a 2025 Hall of Fame inductee. Please welcome Mike Koziol. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise if you're able. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. linesmen Chris Harjay and Alex Crow. The referees, Logan Shepard and Kep Gresham. And your official scorekeeper is Dan Glatt. So just a portion of the ceremonies that will go on this evening as part of the Hall of Fame weekend for Illinois State Redbird hockey. Your starting lineups once again. First for the Pride of Purdue Northwest, now 18 points on the season, 6-4, 0-0 on the season. Benji Rutka and Carter Hobbs start on defense. Anthony Bagnoli, Jared Topol, and Bryce Jacobson get the start of the forward line. Caleb Krill, 3-3-0 on the season, a 2.52 goals against average, and a 911 save percentage is between the pipes for the Pride, who are in black tonight, trimmed in gold and white, gold numerals trimmed in white on the black jerseys. For Illinois State, it'll be Logan Schaefer and Declan McDermott on defense. Pavel Bakhtin, Mason Kerr, and Aiden Basetic on the front line, with Larkin Dolan, 1-0-0 on the season, a 2 even goals against average, and a 9.53 save percentage, getting the starting goal. Face-off won by the Redbirds, who are in white tonight, trimmed in red and black. Black shorts, red numerals on the white uniforms, and they have the first possession of the contest as Declan McDermott chips it out to center ice. It's dumped in by Aiden Basetic, cross ice to the left corner. Callahan tracks it down, but lost it as it's picked up by Topol for the Pride. Jacobson will dump it in behind Larkin Dolan, who holds it up. Now Dolan plays it off to the right corner. Coming in to hold it at the line, but unable to do so, was Baden Powell. Now tracking the puck behind the net. It comes all the way out to the point. It's sent across ice by Easton Tock, and the Redbirds able to gather and send it out into the Pride's zone. Just about a minute gone by here in the opening period. Hall of Fame weekend will have intermission ceremonies honoring the recent inductees and some teams that are celebrating anniversaries throughout the evening tonight during the first and second intermissions. Redbirds have the puck. Pass ahead. Robin Cusick couldn't get to it as Ben Lechner tried to find him, and it's knocked away by Michael Lucia. Here's Luka Weinkauf dumping one in. It's knocked away. Benji Rutka there to get it. Sends it into the corner. Now comes around the boards. And the Pride have it as they look to clear the zone. Bad pass, hit the boards and hit a player, but it stays in the possession of the Pride. Shedlowski will dump it in, and the Pride will get a change. Gio Barghini sends it into the Purdue Northwest end of the ice. Rutkai sends it out front. Here's a steal by Dager. Couldn't pull the trigger as it got away from him for a moment. Now over the line comes Finney. Drops it off in front. Swept aside by Larkin Dolan for the Redbirds. Played into the left corner. Centering pass out. Couldn't control. Now it goes deep into the right corner. Hobbs can't get to it. Barghini takes a spill right in front of his own bench. And the Pride able to just dump it back in and get a change. Mason Kerr for Illinois State. Sends it ahead. It's dumped in by Dager, but he was short of center. So it'll be an icing call against Illinois State as the Redbirds were looking for a change. And Dager was just, I'd say, about 2 feet short of center ice when he dumped that one in. So the face-off comes back into the Illinois State end of the ice. It'll be to the left of Larkin Dolan. Face-off picked up by the Pride as Powell dumps it into the corner. Quick shot out front, like Jacobson, stopped in front, and it's dumped all the way down, not icing. And Easton Tock picks it up for the Pride. Sends a quick pass ahead as Colin Leduc goes into the corner with it. He gets checked off the puck, and a penalty coming up against the Redbirds. So Illinois State will be assessed the first penalty of the contest. It'll be on Caden Day. It'll be a check from behind on Day. Illinois State penalty number 81, Caden Day. 2 minutes for a check from behind. Time of the penalty, 3:01, first period. Redbirds penalty, Day. 2 minutes for a check from behind at 3:01. Clock will be reset to 16:51. 16:51. So the face-off moved down after the referee stopped play. Apparently they would drop the puck kind of quick. We're ready for play, and the Pride win the face-off and work on the power play. Here's Barron moving across the Redbird line. He'll fire one. That one blocked up into the netting. Minute and 40 remaining in the power play, and the next face-off will be in the Redbird zone. Face-off will be to the left of Dolan. Barron takes the face-off against Pasetic. It's one into the corner. Pasetic gets to it for Illinois State. Tries to backhand it out. It's held in at the line. Rutkai dumps it into the right corner. Now behind the net it goes. Comes back out to the point. Powell sends it over to the circle. Centered across, and they score. Brody McIntyre was right in front, picked up the centering pass and sent it into the net behind Larkin Dolan, and it's 1-0 in favor of Purdue Northwest. So the power play goal puts Purdue Northwest up 1-0. Purdue Northwest goal, his fourth of the season, scored by number 21, Brody McIntyre. Assisted by number 22, Cooper Knott, and number 48, Baden Powell. Time of the goal, 3:51, first period. Pride goal scored on the power play by McIntyre, assisted by Knott and Knott and Powell at 3:51. Now the Redbirds again playing from behind as Connor O'Neill resets the puck. Tries to dump it in. It's stolen back by the Pride, and it's in their own zone. As Robin Cusick gets to it, he'll try to dump it in. Can't get it far enough to get a change. So the Redbirds stuck on the ice, under 15 and a half now to play here in period one. 1-0, Purdue Northwest. Lechner, his pass intercepted by Knott. He'll fire one in. That one blocked aside by Trucksaw. Play goes into the corner for a shot that was blocked away. Barghini trying to get to it. Easton Tock dumps it behind the Redbird net. Pass comes out. It's Ryan Zimmerman who dumps it down low. Nathaniel Zimmerman. I'm thinking of a baseball player, I think, when I say Ryan Zimmerman. Yes, Washington Nationals former baseball player. Wrong sport. Although they are in their final stages, they're in the World Series starting this weekend. Redbirds lose it in the slot, and it's dumped back out to center by the Pride. As Nate Zimmerman will dump it in, back into the Pride zone. Trying to stretch pass that time for Finney. It was knocked away by Switek for the Redbirds, and the Redbirds get control. Barghini will move up the right side, cuts to the slot, sends it across for a Switek shot. That one stopped by Caleb Krill. Switek looks to thread through the needle and trying to split three defenders. He's taken into the corner. Redbirds have it behind the net. Switek out to the point for Kerr. His shot swept away. Defense got to it. Long lead pass ahead. Finney tries to get to it. Mason Kerr ahead of him. And he'll swat the puck back over the boards. And the Redbirds will get control as Caden Day has it. Day moves forward and dumps it in just over center ice, so no icing. And the Pride back to get it. Again, Leduc out ahead of the pack. We're on one with Schaefer. Backhand shot wide of the target. Comes around to the right boards. Hobbs there. Dumps it across and sends it back behind the net. McIntyre jammed at it. Day will get to it for Illinois State. Held in at the line. And now finally cleared out of the zone as Lucio was there. Now Leduc back over the line. Backhand shot. Save Larkin Dolan. Rebound kicked into the right corner. 7 minutes gone by in the first. 1-0. Pride over the Redbirds. Caden Day will dump it in so the Redbirds can get a change. Tricarico takes it into the corner. Lost the handle on the puck, and it's picked up by the Pride. Bagnoli over the line. Takes it into the corner. Redbirds get to it as Lechner will skate away from behind his own net. Ahead to Callahan. Callahan comes across with it. Lost it at the blue line. It's picked up by Jacobson. 2-on-2 if they hurry. He moves in for a shot. That one taken and stop made by Larkin Dolan as Cooper Knott once again peppered the Redbird goaltender. Back behind the net. Bagnoli skates out of the corner. Sent back out toward the line. Redbirds get to it. Callahan bats it ahead to himself. That's legal. Callahan sets it up for Bogdan. Bogdan taken into the corner. Checked off the puck by Ryan Kerr. Kerr taken off the puck by Day behind the Pride net. And Purdue Northwest sends it out to center. Buchholz intercepts. Dumps it into the Pride zone. Sava Verbetsky over the line. Verbetsky left side shot, saved by Dolan, and he hangs on. 11:38 to play here in period number one. Purdue Northwest with a 4-1 shot advantage so far. And the Redbirds started out last night with a 9-1 shot advantage. Redbirds, though, didn't give up a goal until the second period. Now the faceoff goes into the netting. The rink is mostly protected by netting except in the bench areas and by the scorer's bench. Although thankfully we do have a little bit more glass in front of us. Redbirds win the faceoff, but it's held in at the line as Smith kicks it back into the corner. Smith works out of the corner with it. To the circle, centering pass intercepted, and Cusick got to it for Illinois State. Now Luka Weinkauf dumps it in. Weinkauf sends it across for O'Neill's shot. That one wide. Comes around to the point on the left side. Back out top, Buchholz sends it into the circle. Buchholz cuts in, fires. That one wide of the target. Cusick out of the right corner. Sends it back out to O'Neill. To the point, and Mason Kerr. Wrist shot on the way. Stopped by Krill. Rebound picked up by the Pride. It's not moving in over the line. Dumps it back for Rutkai. His shot blocked away by Buchholz. Here's a shot out front. That one stopped again by the defense as Barrett tried to get to it. He lost it, and it's kicked over to the left boards. Now the Redbirds get to it as Cusick will dump it in. Redbirds will go get a change. 10.5 minutes to play in period one. 1-0 Purdue Northwest. Here's a steal by Barghini. Backhand. Score! Gio Barghini with a backhand. Lifted it over the glove of Krill, and we're tied at 1. So Gio Barghini gets the Redbirds even at 1 apiece. Illinois State goal, his 6th of the season, scored by number 20, Gio Barghini. Unassisted. Time of the goal, 9:36, first period. Redbird goal scored by Barghini, unassisted at 9:36. Switek moves in to the backhand, and he's stopped by Krill. Rebound comes out to McDermott. Now Switek works out of the corner. Switek back out to McDermott. He'll send it out to the point, and Schaefer left side. Schaefer dumps down into the corner. McDermott is there. Looking down low, trying to center it. Switek will join the fray in the corner. Michael Lucia tries to get to it. Spinning puck picked up by McDermott. At the point, centers one. That one just missed the post. Back out to the point, McDermott. He'll bang it down into the corner. Quick shot taken. Krill out front makes the stop. Rebound. Sent over to the boards and now picked up in the slot by the Pride. Over the line comes Michael Clough. He sends it back behind the Redbird net. Now a scramble out front. Larkin Dolan down on the butterfly trying to make the stops. Does kick the puck back out. Here's a quick shot. Dolan again the save. Rebound goes right through the crease. Nobody home to play it for the Pride. Puck comes out of the right corner. McIntyre centers it out front. Couldn't find anybody. The Redbirds able to get to it and hoist it out to center ice as Switek got to it. Switek splits two defenders and got his pocket picked. Michael Clough takes it away for the Pride. Clough, long lead pass ahead for McIntyre, too far in front. It'll be icing against Purdue Northwest. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in period number 1. And the icing call will send the next faceoff all the way down the ice. It'll be in the Purdue Northwest zone. For a moment, it might have been tipped, but then the officials double-checked with each other and said, nope, no tip. We face it off in the other end of the ice. Here's a shot. Tricarico a tip. That one stopped by Krill. Rebound goes into the corner. Here's another shot by the Redbirds. That one off the boards by Caden Day. That one stopped by Krill as well. Redbirds trying to get to it as Solberg comes in over the line. Solberg moves in, takes it in on Dolan. He makes the stop. Dolan comes away with it. Dolan comes away with a save. Tricarico in over the line. Centering pass, and he couldn't quite get it to his man. Callahan was open. And now the centering pass back out to the point will roll all the way down the ice. For just a moment, I had to wait to see what exactly transpired. Larkin Dolan made the save, and the Redbirds got a 3-on-1 as Caden Day will dump it into the Pride end. Under 8 minutes to play now in the first. Illinois State and Purdue Northwest tied at 1. Carson Pishker back behind the net. Zimmerman goes in and loses his stick on the sideboards. He'll retrieve it and get into the fray. Now Tricarico hoisted along the boards, and it's picked up by Easton Tock. Tock will play it out of his own end. Jacobson trying to lead pass ahead for Topol. Didn't quite make the connection, and the icing call will make the next faceoff happen in the Purdue Northwest end. Redbirds will be on the road next weekend for Halloween. They will be taking on the Bobcats of the University of Ohio on Friday and Saturday, the 31st of October and the 1st of November. Callahan fights with the two Pride players along with Aiden Basetic. He digs it out of the corner right side, centering pass, and Bogdan missed it. Rebound picked up by Topol. He comes in over the line, fires one in. Dolan with a blocker save. Rebound flutters into the corner. Topol chases it down. Centers it, but it's stolen back by Illinois State. They'll hoist it out to center. And Shidlowski gets to it for the Pride. Redbirds come away with it. Here's Pavel Bogdan. Gets around one check. Moves to the left circle. Drops it off for a quick pass out front. Missed Bogdan. Bogdan gets it back though in the right circle. Cross-ice feed. Dumped in behind the net by Schaefer. Declan McDermott has pass knocked away. Picked up by Callahan. Back out to Schaefer at the point. Schaefer works around a screen, fires it high and wide. McDermott pinches in, couldn't quite control it, and Topol will dump it out to center for the Pride. Basetic saucers a pass ahead, but couldn't find Schaefer, and it's stolen back by Hobbs, who dumps it in on Larkin Dolan. Couldn't handle the puck and almost gave it away, as coming in was Carter Hobbs. He couldn't quite control the puck. Knott will send it down. He knocks over the linesman. Unofficially, knocked him on his butt. Officially, happenstance. No penalty, no egregious behavior. 5.5 to play in the first. Redbirds look to start it up from behind their own net. Schaefer saucers it out front, tipped at center, it goes in, no icing, as Krill will play it from behind his own net. Weinkauf gets to it on the right board, dumped down into the corner, centering pass for O'Neill, knocked away, and Krill was watching it, but was going to cover it, and his defense came to get it, and they hoist it out close to center ice. It goes into the bench area, so we'll have a face-off coming up, but will it be in neutral ice, or will it be in the zone of the Pride? I believe it's going to be in the Pride zone, yes. So the face-off will be to the right of Caleb Krill. Won by the Redbirds, but pass out to the point gets away from Ben Lechner. Now Cusick will dump it into the right corner. Benji Rutkai sends it around from the right to the left boards, heads out to center ice, picked up by Clough. Stolen back by Truxaw, and they'll play catch at center ice. Luka Weinkauf will roll one into the corner, and Talk is there to get it for the Pride. 4:35 to play in the opening period. A reminder, we have some Hall of Fame acknowledgement ceremonies coming up during the intermission, so stay with us as we will have full coverage of the announcement of the Hall of Fame inductees for 2025 for Illinois State Redbird hockey. Barghini sets it up for Lechner. He moves forward with it. Switek over the line. Got it to Jaeger, back to Switek, kicks it from his skate to his stick, couldn't control it, and it's picked up by Barron for the Pride. His pass ahead, tipped by Powell. Redbirds are able to get to it. 4 minutes remaining in the first. 1-1. Here's a slap shot by Solberg. That one stopped by Dolan. Rebound goes into the right corner. McIntyre digs it out, but the Redbirds get to it. Barghini quickly ahead to Switek. Switek gets his stick lifted as they go into the corner. Penalty coming up against Purdue Northwest. And with 3:44 to play in the first, the Redbirds will get their first power play opportunity. Colin Leduc picks up the penalty. It's a hooking call, and the Redbirds will have the advantage for 2 minutes. Purdue Northwest penalty, number 32, Colin Leduc, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 16:16, first period. Pride penalty, Leduc, 2 minutes for hooking at 16:16. Redbirds on the power play, and the Pride able to clear it the length of the ice. Topol hustling down, forces Dolan out to play the puck. Now at center, it's dumped back in, and the Redbirds retrieve it. As Truxaw will set things up for Illinois State. 1:20 remaining on the power play, 3:05 for the first period, and a 1-1 tie. Switek over the line to Bogdan, right side. Down into the corner, goes to Switek, comes out to the right circle, spins back to the point. Here's Truxaw at the left point. Skates into the middle, fires a shot. That one stopped by Krill, and he gives no rebound. And the face-off will stay in the Pride zone with 2:47 remaining in period one. Face-off will be to the left of Caleb Krill. Connor O'Neill will take the draw. Jacobson steps in, or check it. McIntyre for the Pride as the face-off finally pushed over to the boards, and the Pride get to it first. Solberg will dump it into the Redbird end. Here's a steal. Solberg fires a shot. That one kicked aside by Dolan. And now they're going to circle back and kill some more time off the power play. 45 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Schaefer spins away from the forecheck of McIntyre. Now tied up along the boards, McIntyre gets back to it. And the Redbirds finally get possession as Schaefer has it with 30 remaining in the power play, 2:10 for the period. Schaefer Cross ice to the right side and Dager. Dager in over the line. They'll look to set up. Schaefer at the point. Back to Dager. Along the right boards. Moves up to the top of the circle. Goes to Schaefer. Sends it across for a quick shot. That one by Cusick wide. Rebound sent over by Dager. Final 5 of the power play. It's stolen away by Topel. He'll cut into the circle. As the penalty expires, both teams at full strength. Topel shot stopped by Dolan with 100 seconds remaining in the period. Caden Day dumps it in, picked up by the Pride as they move out. Sent across by Powell, picked up by Jacobson. He'll dump it into the Redbird end with 1:25 to play in the period. Here's Pishker at center, had it knocked away by Jacobson, picked up by Knott. Cooper Knott sends it across for a shot by Bagnoli. That one wide of the target. Bagnoli sends it off the side of the net with 1:05. Now the Redbirds get Tricarico has it. Tricarico loads one up. That's off the shin guards. 1 minute to play in the period, 1 minute remaining. As Buchholz will track it down at center in the final minute to play in this first period. Krill sets it up for Easton Talk behind the net. And the Pride will start to try to move out. Dumped in by Verbetsky. Buchholz. Cross ice for Mason Kerr. 35 seconds left in the period. Here's a steal. As going in front, looked like Colin Leduc, as he was able to get the puck away for just a moment. Instead, the Redbirds able to get it covered up as Larkin Dolan stepped out of his crease. And correction, that was Cooper Knott. So Barron will take the face-off against Dager with 30.6 remaining in the first. Redbirds win the face-off. Here's Gio Barghini. He'll dump it in from center. Switek goes over to the corner to get to it. Switek looks in front, can't find anybody. Back down to the point for a shot. That one tipped on the net by Dager and sent back out after Lechner put it on net. Final 15 seconds. Truxon with a steal. Takes it up the left boards. Into the corner he goes in the final 10. Cutting out front. Loose puck. Finally picked up by the Pride. Final 5 seconds of the period. Pride move in with a shot. That one blocked into the corner by Dager, and that'll do it for period number 1. Your score at the end of 1 period of play. The Pride of Purdue Northwest 1 and your Illinois State Redbirds 1. Shots on goal in the opening period. Illinois State 13, Illinois State 11, Purdue Northwest 13. No penalties carry over into the second period. So 2 goals scored in the period. We opened up scoring at the 16-19 mark on the power play. It was Purdue Northwest getting the 4th goal of the season from Brody McIntyre. The assist going to Cooper Knott and to Baden Powell. And it was 1-0 in favor of Purdue Northwest. Illinois State equalized at the 10:24 mark as Gio Barghini was able to equalize with an unassisted goal at the 10:24 mark. And that's where we stand, 1-1 after 20 minutes of hockey. We do have some festivities coming up as part of the Hall of Fame weekend here for Illinois State Redbird hockey, and we'll have those for you coming up here in just a couple of moments. And the Redbirds are getting set to honor their inductees for 2025's Hall of Fame class. So we will have those for you. We'll have those ceremonies coming up for you here in just a few moments. Until then, we'll be right back here at the Bloomington Ice Center. And we'll be back in a moment for Illinois State Redbird hockey. It's time to get the ceremonies underway for Hall of Fame weekend as we continue in intermission number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, today the ISU Hall of Fame will induct the class of 2025 for the hockey programs. Today's inductees to the Hall of Fame are from the 1969-70 ISU team and 3 individuals who were also inducted today. Let's welcome them now to the ice. First, let's recognize the 1969-70 ISU hockey team. The 1969-70 team is the first ISU hockey team in the club's 56-year history. This group of players paved the way for all teams that followed them. 12 of the 22 team members are here with us today. They include Bill Sarf, Glenn Morrison, Dick Klisch, Larry Hodek, Ernie Peterson, Dave Tracer, Les Lexow, Tom Purcell, Bob Criscione, Ed Bottom, Steve Kenyon, and Jim Peterson, the 1969-70 Redbirds. Also inducted as an individual today was Bill Sarf for his play on defense for the first 2 ISU hockey teams in 1969-70 and 70-71. Bill was elected captain for the 70-71 team by the players and was respected leader on and off the ice. Our next inductee is Mike Koziel. He's inducted for his play at right wing from 1973 to 77 and was a productive scorer, scoring 51 goals and 62 assists. A disruptor in front of opponents' nets, Mike was effective on both offense and defense. Our next inductee is Tony Parado. He's inducted for his lifelong support of ISU hockey and played during the 1979-80 season and continues to play hockey today. Now a successful businessman, Tony served on the first Hall of Fame board and is one of the top contributors of time and resources to the ISU Hockey Hall of Fame and the team. Our final inductee this year was Mark Hayton. Mark was inducted for his play in goal from 2015 to 2019 and a leader on and off the ice for the first ISU ACHA D1 team. His performance in goal was instrumental in keeping the team competitive at the higher levels. In 83 career games, Mark had a career save percentage of .904. Impressive considering he would face 50-plus shots a game. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a hand to our 2025 Illinois State Hockey Hall of Fame class inductees. All right, we'll have some more festivities during the second intermission. Again, our score 1-1 after 20 minutes of hockey as we get set to get the ice reset for period number 2. Illinois State tied the game with 10:24 to play in the period. Gio Barghini unassisted. And Purdue Northwest led the scoring off with a power play goal at 16-19, thanks to the 4th of Brody McIntyre, the assist going to Cooper Knott and to Baden Powell. 1-1 our score following 20 minutes of hockey. We'll be back with more hockey coming up in just a few moments as we continue the intermission. This is Redbird Hockey. We're back at the Bloomington Ice Center with the Joe Olson Ice Rink. L.A. Decker with you as we get set for period number 2 between Illinois State and Purdue Northwest on this Saturday night. And a reminder that Illinois State Redbird Hockey will be back in action next weekend, but they'll be on the road taking on the Bobcats of the University of Ohio. The next time we'll see them on home ice will be on the 7th and 8th of November, as the Drury Panthers will come to visit the Bloomington Ice Center. Friday, 7 o'clock, Saturday, 6:10. Saturday, I will not be with you, and I have to apologize up front, but I have a very good excuse. I mean, I'm giving you my note now. I have a very good excuse why I will not be here on Saturday, November 8th. My son is getting married. Yes, I'm that old. Thank you very much. I appreciate the well wishes. But congratulations to my son and his future wife, and hopefully all the best for them as we are underway here in period number 2 of this contest. The Redbirds dump it out to center. Benji Rutkai sends it across ice. Redbirds get to it as Switek tries to dump it in. It's stolen back, and Cooper Knott is offside as he stick-handled the puck one too many times, and his players got in ahead of the play. So the face-off will be in neutral ice. Jacobson will take the neutral zone face-off against Dager, and it's won back by Illinois State all the way into their own end. Jackson Schaefer looks to set things up. Hoisted out to Dominic Dager. Dager moves in right side, centering pass out front, knocked away for a moment. Redbirds get back to it. Schaefer overskates it. Knocked away for a moment, and then picked up by the Pride. As Jared Topol sends it behind the net. Comes out to the right side, and the Redbirds able to get to it as Barghini moves across into the zone. Barghini at the top of the zone, dumps it across ice into the right corner. Nobody home for Illinois State. And here come the Pride back out of their own end as Baden Powell will move up the right boards. He fires one off the side of the net. Larkin Dolan shutting down the near corner, and Baden Powell gets to it. Powell out to the middle of the ice, picked up by Talk, sends one in. That one deflected on Larkin Dolan and stopped. Now sent across for Powell's shot. That one again stopped by Dolan. Rebound goes up over the crossbar. And the Pride look to center it back out as it comes out from behind the net. Knott sends it around. Powell overskates it, and the Redbirds steal it. Here comes Switek over the line. Switek left it and lost it. It's picked up as Verbetsky dumps it into the Redbird end. Now a whistle stops play, and offside is the call against Purdue Northwest. A very frantic pace here in the first minute and 48 seconds of the second period. Barron and Day take the face-off, and Barron wins it back for the Pride. It's dumped in by Rutkai, cross ice to the left corner. Spinning off of it is Barron. He lost it at center. Finney picks it up and comes in over the line. Over to Barron, left side. Cross ice feed, nobody home. Cusick banks it off the boards ahead, trying to get it to Connor O'Neill. Shedlowski races him to the puck. And Lechner will dump it in for the Redbirds. Sent back around by O'Neill. Truxaw sends it around in behind the Pride net. Truxaw centers it and stolen away, picked up by Michael Clough. Ahead for Finney, who dumps it into the Redbird end. Redbird's able to get to it. Truxaw couldn't catch the pass. It's down low, Finney for a centering attempt, stolen away by Illinois State. They take it to the corner, and the Redbirds have it as Callahan moves out. Callahan lost it at center. It rolls into the zone. Redbirds try to retrieve it, but can't, as Truxaw has it, and he'll dump it in. Short hop picked up by Krill, and he'll send it back behind his net and keep it in play. 3 minutes gone by, now a whistle stops play. And it's going to be an intentional offside against Illinois State. So face off in the Redbird end to the left of Dolan. Bogdan wins the face off. Out from the goal line, held in at the line by the Pride as Hobbs held it in. Out of the corner with it is Powell. Back to Hobbs. Dump for McIntyre behind the net. Redbirds get to it on the boards. Callahan couldn't control. Sent across and back around. As Solberg tries to get it from behind the net. Does so in the right corner. He's played by Bogdan. Now Solberg gets around a check, fires a backhand shot. That one stopped by Dolan. Rebound out front, diving, they score. Scramble play in front of the net. And the Pride of Purdue Northwest. Very, very similar time frame here in the second period. They score first in the second. Here's McDermott with it after the face-off and pushed into the Pride zone. Redbirds have it. Centering pass, now a whistle stops play as the net has once again come off the moorings. Looks like Chase Solberg's going to pick up the goal. It'll be his first of the season. Purdue Northwest goal, his first of the season, scored by number 10, Chase Solberg. Assisted by number 32, Colin Leduc. Time of the goal, 3:50, second period. Pride goal scored by Solberg, assisted by Leduc at 3:50. Here's Tricarico with it for Illinois State over the line. Tricarico, short side shot, that went wide. Puck comes back out, played by Verbetsky. He sends it back to center. Tricarico steals, moves in, takes it to the backhand of the forehand shot. That one swept aside. Pride defense got to it. Tricarico centers from behind the net. Loose in front. Here's Schaefer. Down low for Tricarico. Couldn't get the redirection, and the puck comes out to center ice. Schaefer taps it ahead. The Redbirds get to it as Carson Pishker moves forward with it. Dumps it into the Pride zone. We are 5 minutes gone here in period number 2. 2-1 Purdue Northwest. Here's Cooper Knott over the line. Knott through center. Hit the post with a shot from the point. That one just rattled the pipes. Along the boards, Knott tries to get it away from Illinois State. Does so. Here's a shot taken. That one in front. Traffic, loose puck. Finally picked up by the Redbirds. As Larkin Dolan made one save out of that. And the post made the other. Now Brennan Shidlowski. Lost an edge as he goes sprawling across the ice. Redbirds ache it away. Here's Lechner dumping it in. Goes into the corner on the right side. Back around to the left. Dominic Dager gets to it for Illinois State. Dager sends a cross into the right corner. Lechner down to get it. Lechner looks to pass. It's sent back out. From the circle, it's sent across, and nobody home for Illinois State. Pride take over as Michael Clough will move into the zone. He'll fire one right into the catching glove. And now Larkin Dolan will think better of playing it and cover it up and take the face-off with 13:41 to play in period number 2. Face-off will be to Dolan's left. Dager will take the face-off against Barron. It's won by Barron back to the point. Hobbs looks down low. Clough sends it into the corner. Centering pass for Clough on the return. Finally picked up by the Redbirds as no one was home. Now a steal by the Pride as Larkin Dolan steps out of his crease just a little bit to make the save, and the Pride right now getting the better of play, out shooting the Redbirds 18-13 so far to this point. Face-off one back, Illinois State sends it out to center. Schaefer there to get it, sends it across to McDermott as they move forward with it. Weinkauf, his pass deflected and stolen back by the Pride. Here's Robin Cusick, spinning at the left circle out to McDermott. He's unable to possess the puck before it leaves the zone, so the Redbirds have to clear out. And the Pride take over. Here's Barron moving over the line. Leaves it for Clough on the right side. Clough to the bottom of the circle. Back out to the point. Here's Powell with a shot. Tipped on net and stopped by Larkin Dolan. Sitting right in front of him that time. It looked like Carson Finney was right on the play, making it difficult for the Redbird netminder to see what was going on, but he does make the stop and keeps the score right where it's at. Now we have a penalty, I believe, coming up. No. Just the line change. For a moment, it looked like someone was skating over toward the penalty box, but I was mistaken. Here's the face-off won by the Pride as Tuck sends one in. The redirection goes in. McIntyre may have got a stick on that one as Easton Tuck made the initial shot, and it's now 3-1 Purdue Northwest. Purdue Northwest goal, his first of the season, scored by number 32, Colin Leduc. Assisted by number 10, Chase Solberg, and number 4, Easton Tuck. Time of the goal, 7:29 second period. Pride goal scored by Leduc, assisted by Solberg and Tuck at 7:29. So Illinois State finds himself down 3-1 now here in the second period with 12:15 to play. The faceoff in the Pride zone as Basetic will send a shot that gets deflected into the right corner. It's sent all the way down the ice. No icing is called as the deflection was adjudicated. Now the Pride keep control as they send it in on the net. That one wide of the target though. It's held in by Shedlowski. Across ice for Callahan. His pass thwarted, now out at center. Picked up by the Redbirds. Here's Bogdan over the line. Bogdan dumps into the corners. The Redbirds go for a change, and now the puck pushed in. And Caleb Krill will cover it up to take a face-off. So the Redbirds now trailing by 2 goals here in the second period. And both second period goals have had the common denominator of Colin Leduc. Got the assist on one, got the goal on the other. Tricarico on the faceoff for Illinois State. It's pushed down below the goal line, and the Pride get to it first. Hoisted out to center. Buckholtz able to control. Zimmerman nearly lost the handle on the boards. It's sent back behind the net as Buckholtz will take it. His pass deflected back. And Buckholtz will start out again. Long lead pass ahead. Tricarico sends it across. Caden Day couldn't catch up with it. And right now, Redbirds look like they're a step slower. Caden Day chips it ahead, but it's right over to Ryan Kerr, who dumps it in. Intentional offside, possibly? No, it'd just be a standard offside. It'll be a center ice face-off instead of a neutral zone dot face-off. couple of the outside players diving in too soon. They'll reset and start over. Zimmerman gets to it for Illinois State and dumps it into the Pride zone. Topol sends it around the net, pushed off the puck, picked up by Day. Here's Buchholz with a shot through traffic, stopped by Krill. Jacobson trying to get to the rebound, now a whistle stops play. As the net was once again off the moorings. And again, a quick check of the net to make sure it's properly secured on the ice, and we are ready to resume play. 7 shots thus far for Purdue Northwest in the second period, only 5 for Illinois State. Face-off pushed into the left corner. Pride get to it first, and it's played out by Jared Topol. Redbirds get to it as they skate into the corner right side. Centering pass, blocked, picked up by the Pride. Topol had it knocked off his stick, and Buchholz will dump it in from center. Krill plays it over to the right corner. Zimmerman tries to hold it in, does. Wrist shot, glove down by Caleb Krill, and he gives no rebound. 10:29 to play in period, 10:19 to play in period number 2. Face-off will be to the left of Caleb Krill, as Dominic Dager will step in to take the draw. Face-off pushed out to the center ice area and all the way into the Redbird end. No icing as the Redbirds able to get to it. McDermott sends it across for Swiatek, and they send it forward. Lead pass ahead, Barghini couldn't quite handle it as Powell steals it. Powell runs into the referee in the corner, now finally hacked at, held in the line by Schaefer. He dumps down into the corner. Centering pass out front, knocked away for a moment, and finally picked up by the Pride. Here's Verbetsky moving in over the line. Verbetsky cuts to the backhand in the slot, knocked away for a moment. They'll track it to the boards. Redbirds get to it as Swiatek lost an edge, and it's sent back behind the net. We are under 10 minutes to play here in period number 2. We're halfway through this one with the Pride of Purdue Northwest leading Illinois State 3-1. McDermott sends it across for Schaefer. Long lead pass ahead. Connects with Swiatek, but he couldn't quite control it. And it's tipped into the zone. Shedlowski goes back to get it for Purdue Northwest. Lead pass ahead, Behrens. Behrens cuts in, spins back, drops it off for Finney. Fires a shot. That one blocked off into the corner. Rebound comes all the way out. Shedlowski dumps it in, and the Redbirds have it. Swiatek moves in on the left side over the line. Dumps down around the boards. Behind the net, comes out to the right corner. Gio Barghini tries to get to it. Centering pass, blocked and taken away. Here's Finney over the line. Looks for Clough. Clough will take it to the left corner. It's sent back out. Illinois State able to get to it. Swiatek. Swiatek moves in for a shot. That one sticked aside by Krill into the corner, and it goes into the netting. And the faceoff will stay in the Purdue Northwest end of the ice. And a new fresh frozen vulcanized rubber disc is necessary to continue play as it went into the netting and then fell into the crowd area. So someone will get an ISU hockey puck from Hall of Fame weekend for a souvenir. And a new puck is retrieved for play. 8:28 to play in the second. Now they're going to switch sides on the faceoff, as I believe they actually have that right. They will switch sides. It'll be a faceoff now to the right of Caleb Krill. Draw sent over to the boards, and it's now behind the net, and the Pride get to it. Ben Lechner able to send it back down the ice, and the Redbirds able to chase. Robin Cusick couldn't get to it, and it's sent down to neutral ice where Mason Kerr will send it in. It goes behind the Pride net. Benji Rutkai will start it out. His pass ahead, stolen away by Buchholz and dumped back in. Redbirds again setting up the picket line at center, and the Pride unable to get past it at this point. Here's a knockaway by Basetic. It's sent back into the Pride zone. Leduc able to dump it ahead, and it goes all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. No, it's called. And it looks like we actually have a penalty coming up. Yes. It's going to be a boarding call against Illinois State. So a boarding call against Robin Cusick. Illinois State penalty number 27, Robin Cusick, 2 minutes for boarding. Time of the penalty, 12:32, second period. Redbird penalty, Cusick, 2 minutes for boarding at 12:32. So the Pride back on the power play. Second time in the contest. They're 1 for 1 so far tonight. Here's Barron, sending it across. Root guy back out to the point, Powell. Powell sends it over to the right side, now left. Here's Barron moving in with a shot. That one blocked in front. Rebound hoisted out and cleared the length of the ice. Krill goes out to play it. Minute and 15 for the Pride power play. 6:40 for period number 2. 3-1 in favor of Purdue Northwest. Here's a steal by Weinkoff, who moves in, fires. Saved by Krill, and he hangs on. Luka Weinkoff anticipated the pass perfectly, was able to make the steal and get a clean shot. But Caleb Krill also had a good look at it and was able to deny the scoring opportunity shorthanded for the Redbirds. 6.5 minutes to play in period 2. Faceoff will stay in the Purdue Northwest zone. O'Neal wins it back to Truxaw. He'll take some time and then just send it down into the corner. Final 60 seconds of the Purdue Northwest power play as the Pride start back out. Here's Clough sending it back. Redbirds get to it. There's Truxaw able to clear it as he sends it the length of the ice. Final chance coming up possibly for Purdue Northwest on the power play. Here's Clough banging one around the boards. It comes all the way around. Goes into the left corner. Dug out by the Pride. Clough behind the net right side. Back out to the point. Clough back to Hobbs. Hobbs looks down low, sent across for Easton Tock. He'll fire one. Blocker save made by Dolan. Illinois State gets the rebound as Dager moves in. Dager takes a shot. That one goes wide. Switek couldn't get to it, and it's picked up by the Pride. Over the line comes Leduc with a shot. That one stopped by Larkin Dolan as the penalty expires. Both teams back at full strength. Nine shots so far in the period for Purdue Northwest, 8 for Illinois State. Face-off pushed into the corner. Redbirds trying to move out with it. Barghini kicks it over, but it's sent back in as Mason Kerr able to get to it for the Redbirds. Here's Switek with a pass, just missed Barghini, just ahead of him, couldn't quite get it on the tape. Buchholz sends it back in, just wide of the target. Switek on the right, on the left boards, pardon me, down to Barghini in the corner. Under 5 to play now in the period. Barghini fights for it, pushes it over to the side. Shedlowski gets to it for Purdue Northwest. He gets run into, and Verbetsky has it. Verbetsky moves over the line. His had his pocket picked, and it's sent back in by Lucia. Redbirds have it as Dolan. Oh, almost had a tough time playing that one as it's sent quickly ahead Barghini. Barghini ahead of the play, so no icing. It goes behind the net. He'll get tied up with Lucia. Now a whistle coming up as the play is stopped with 4:26 to play in period number 2. And the Redbirds again will be down a man. Slashing call against Gio Borghini. So Purdue Northwest goes back onto the power play. Illinois State penalty number 20, Gio Borghini, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 15:34, second period. Redbird penalty, Borghini, 2 minutes for slashing at 15:34. So the Pride move out as Rutkai sends it forward, got blocked but got it back. Rutkai now on the left boards. Holds and looks, got it to the point and Powell. Powell left side, back to Rutkai, centering pass out front. Barron shot blocked into the corner. Barron comes away with it. Sends it over to Rutkai. Rutkai skates out, sends it over to Barron at the circle. Down low for a cross-ice feed. Powell gets it right side, out to Rutkai. Rutkai holds and looks, now gets an open shot, takes one, that one wide of the target. Rebound back behind the net. Picked up by Barron, out to Rutkai at the point. 65 remaining in the power play. Rutkai sets up at the circle, drops it back. Picked up by McIntyre. Cross ice for Powell. Sent down low, Finney, centering pass out front, loose. Blocking a shot right on the edge, was blocked that time as Powell was open. He has it now on the right side. Back out to Barron. Barron back to Powell on the right point. Sends it across for Rutkai. Benji Rutkai looks, cuts in behind the net. Drops it off. Behind the net once again, they look to play it out. Here's Powell with it right circle. Powell to Barron. Now back to Powell, centering pass, McIntyre knocked away, stolen by the Redbirds as Pavel Bakhtin will hoist it all the way down the ice. Final 10 seconds of the Redbird power play, or excuse me, the Redbird penalty kill. 2.5 minutes to play in the second. As the Pride look to move out, both teams are back at full strength as O'Neill chipped it away. Sent in for a backhand shot, that one stopped by Krill. In alone was Robin Cusick. He had an opportunity trying to lift it over the glove of the 6'2" goaltender, but was not able to, and the Redbirds off the board still, trailing 3-1. O'Neill will step in and take the face-off for Illinois State. O'Neill pushes it to the corner, but it's picked up by the Pride as Lechner tries to save it. Topol gets to it with 2 minutes coming up to play here in the period. He'll dump it into the Redbird end. Truxaw back to get it, Cusick. Sends it over the boards, and finally, Redbird's able to clear some pressure out. Here's Cusick. Moves in over the line. Cusick up the left boards. Takes it back behind the net. Comes away with the puck. Penalty coming up against the Pride as Lechner goes back to get it. It'll be touched up. Redbird's got to be careful. They can put it in their own net, but with 1:39 to play in the period, Redbirds will go on the power play. So the Redbirds will have some power play time. If they fail to score before the end of the period, they'll carry over a little time to the third period. Purdue Northwest penalty number 18, Ryan Kerr, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 18:21, second period. Prime penalty, Kerr, 2 minutes for hooking at 18:21. Here's Switek to Bakhtin at the point left side. To the top of the circle, and Borghini. Borghini brings it back out to the point, center ice. Now over to Bogdan on the left. He'll crisscross with Switek. Back over to Switek on the left now. Switek will dump it down low. Truxaw gets knocked off the puck for a second. Barghini now behind the net, looks to center. Nobody home. Truxaw picks it up and resets. He'll fire one in. That one blocked by McIntyre. Barghini in the final minute to play. Less than a minute to play in the period. Less than a minute remaining. Bogdan back at the point. Sends it across Barghini. Back to Bogdan. At the point, Switek, top of the circle, left side. Sends it across for Barghini. Couldn't pull the trigger, and now in front of the net, it's stopped by Caleb Krill. He'll cover it up. And with 37 seconds remaining in the period, some pushing and shoving in front of the Pride netminder. So the faceoff will stay in the Purdue Northwest zone. Redbirds still with 58 seconds of power play time, so they could carry over pretty close to 21 seconds of power play time. Now a discussion going on between the officials as teams will get some changes. The officials seem satisfied with what's been happening. Connor O'Neill will take the faceoff for Illinois State. Jacobson will step in for the draw for Purdue Northwest. Here's the faceoff won by the Redbirds. Schaefer, cross ice for Dager. Back to Schaefer. He'll fire one in. That one stopped by Krill, and he gives no rebound with 29.4 remaining. Redbirds able to narrow the shot total in the period. They've now taken 10 to 9 for the Pride. 29.4 remaining in the second period. And the faceoff to the left of Caleb Krill. The players moving in too soon. Now the faceoff put into the corner by Illinois State. Final 25 of the period. O'Neill chases it around, centering pass out front, loose in front. Krill makes a blocker save. Rebound still loose, finally picked up by the Birds. Schaefer holds it into the line, 10 seconds. Schaefer goes cross ice for Weinkauf. Back over to Cusick. Out to the top with 5 seconds. Schaefer fires, blocker save made by Krill, and that will do it for period number 2. Your score at the end of 2 periods of play. The Pride of Purdue Northwest 3. Your Illinois State Redbirds 1. Shots on goal in period number 2. Illinois State 9. Purdue Northwest 11. 2 period totals. Both teams even at 22 shots apiece. 21 seconds. The Redbirds will have 21 seconds of power play time entering the third period. So Illinois State trailing now 3-1. How did we get there? Well, 2 goals by Purdue Northwest in the first 8.5 minutes or so, 7.5 minutes of play here in the second period. It was Chase Solberg getting his first, assisted by Colin Leduc at the 16:10 mark, and then Colin Leduc would get his first. Chase Solberg assisting along with Easton Tock at the 12:31 mark. Redbirds still again, 21 seconds of power play time going into the third period. We'll see if they can take advantage of that heading into the final stanza. Still have more intermission festivities for you as the Hall of Fame weekend continues here. And we will have some more festivities for you coming up in just a couple of moments as we get set for our intermission. Again, after 2 periods of play here from the Joe Olson Ice Rink at the Bloomington Ice Center, it's Illinois State trailing Purdue Northwest 3-1. We're back with intermission festivities in a few moments here on the ISU Hockey YouTube channel. And we're back during intermission. Let's get some more Hall of Fame festivities as we continue in the intermission here, as we honor some more teams from the past of Illinois State Redbird hockey. Fans, as we continue to celebrate ISU Redbird hockey's past in this Hall of Fame weekend, let's acknowledge more players and teams who have contributed to the program over the years. Joining us today are members of the 1973-74, 74-75, and 75-76 teams who are here celebrating their 50th anniversaries. Let's welcome and recognize those players who are in attendance today. Some of those players include J.C. Malitsky, T.J. Todd, Dave Bouchard, Mike Koziel, Casey Carr, Mike Mullally, Dean Hackbarth, Mike Auten, Randy Freilich, and Jim Green. We thank each and every one of you for your contributions to Illinois State Redbird hockey. Fans, a reminder, next weekend the Redbirds will be on the road taking on the Bobcats of Ohio University. Our next contests here at the Bloomington Ice Center for Illinois State Redbird hockey will be on November 7th and 8th on Friday and Saturday nights as the Drury University Panthers come to visit your Illinois State Redbirds. Friday night for a 7 o'clock face-off and Saturday for a 6:10 matchup. So again, those teams celebrating their anniversaries, 73-74, 74-75, and 75-76. J.C. Malitsky, T.J. Todd, Dave Bouchard, Mike Koziel. We had him here a little bit earlier tonight doing the opening face-off, ceremonial face-off. Casey Carr, Mike Mullally, Dean Hackbarth, Mike Auten, Randy Freilich, and Jim Green. And of course, congratulations to each and every one of the inductees this year, including Bill Sarf, Mike Koziel, Tony Parado, Mark Hayton, and the 1969-70 Illinois State hockey team, first Illinois State hockey team in the club's history. So that'll do it for our intermission report and our intermission festivities. Again, our score at the end of 2 periods of play between Illinois State and Purdue Northwest. It's the Pride leading 3-1 over the Redbirds. And we're back following the intermission on the Illinois State Hockey YouTube channel. We're back at the Bloomington Ice Center, the Joe Olson Ice Rink. L.A. Decker back with you, and hopefully we've changed a little bit of the luck going into our third period tonight. Redbirds trail 3-1 to Purdue Northwest. And Illinois State will still have 21 seconds of power play time. That thanks to the hooking penalty against Ryan Kerr for Purdue Northwest. He'll have 21 seconds remaining to serve to start this third period. Reminder, the Redbirds on the road next week. They'll be taking on the Bobcats of Ohio University. They'll be back on home ice here at the Bloomington Ice Center on the 7th and 8th of November as the Panthers of Drury University will come visit Illinois State. 7 o'clock face-off on Friday and Saturday at 6:10. The following weekend, the 14th and 15th, it'll be a home-and-home series with the McKendree Bearcats. The Friday night game will be here at the Bloomington Ice Center for a 7:10 face-off. Then they'll head down to the Recplex in Lebanon, Illinois at McKendree University for a 6 o'clock face-off on Saturday night. So the officials make their way back onto the ice, and the teams will follow quite soon as we are just about set to get the third period underway. And the Redbirds find themselves trailing by 2 goals. Last night only trailed by 1, but were unable to solve the riddle of Cooper Olson. Tonight, a little bit larger task, considering that Caleb Krill is 6'2", 170 pounds. By the way, Whitmore Lake, Michigan, his hometown, is right between Brighton and Ann Arbor, just east of Detroit, right in between Interstates 90 and 96 along US 23. And quite frankly, I'm kind of romantic about Michigan. My grandparents settled in that area. A little bit west of there, though. They were up around the Fremont and White Cloud area in a small town, well, not so small anymore, but Newaygo was the town. So a very romantic place for me. I do like the Upper Peninsula, very nice place. And Mackinac Island, of course, very nice as well. And no, that sponsorship was not from the Michigan Department of Tourism. So 20 minutes on the clock. The teams are back on their benches, and we are just about set to get things underway here in the third period. Redbirds operating from right to left as we see it along with you here in period number 3. And Illinois State trailing by 2 goals. They do have 21 seconds of power play time to try to get themselves back within 1 goal of the pride of Purdue Northwest. The opening faceoff taken by the Redbirds as Declan McDermott will start things out. Switek gets it to McDermott at center. He'll take it into the pride zone. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Sent around Schaefer, holds it into the point right side. Chips it along the board to Barghini. Now Schaefer will move in and fire. That one stopped by Krill, and he gives no rebound as the penalty expires. Both teams will be back at full strength. Schaefer got a good look at that one and was able to rip it from the point. Krill, though, able to see it all the way and able to make the stop. Face-off will be to his left. Face-off pulled back all the way to McDermott. He's got it at the point. Dumped down low. Barghini chases after it behind the net, loose in front. Sent back along the boards, taken away by Dager. Dager trying to center it, dumps it down low. It's picked up by Benji Rutkai for the Pride. Rutkai moves through center ice with it. Rutkai over the line. Stops at the circle, centers it across, nobody there. Redbirds take it away, Barghini has it. Gio Barghini moves across ice with a pass across into the corner left side. Minute gone by here in the third. Jared Topol leaves it for Bagnoli. Anthony Bagnoli sends it behind the Redbird net. Centering pass out front, and it was stopped by Larkin Dolan, and again the net looks like it came off the posts. And it seems that we have a problem when the goaltenders try to push off the posts. They don't seem to stay in very well. So the face-off will stay in the Redbird end. It'll be to the right of Larkin Dolan. Dager will step in to take the face-off, and now stepping in will be Cooper Knott. Redbirds win the draw. Goes behind the net. McDermott tries to get to it. Pride will play it. Cooper Knott sends it around to the right corner. Powell tries to pinch in to get it. It's kept in the zone. And now it goes off the bench players hanging out over the ISU bench. And it goes into the bench area. It'll be retrieved by our linesman and ready for another face-off. Here's a shot blocked, and Cusick able to pick it up for Illinois State off the draw. Cusick dumps it in behind the net. O'Neill chases after it, sends it out to the circle right side, but it's picked off by the Pride and sent all the way down the ice. Truxaw will chase it down and keep the Pride from getting to it. Icing will be the call against Purdue Northwest, as Cooper Knott was trying to skate down the ice and get past Truxaw. He didn't allow it. So the face-off will go back into the Purdue Northwest zone. Smith on the draw for the Pride, and Redbirds win it as Truxaw tries to dump it in. Taken away, Cusick with a shot. That one blocked out front. Rebound kicked into the corner. Truxaw has it. Truxaw backhands toward the corner on the left side. Truxaw tries to keep it in. It goes out, and it will be icing again against Purdue Northwest. So the Pride able to take some pressure off. However, they are not able to keep possession. Every time they dump it all the way down while at even strength, the face-off will come right back into their own end. Face-off will be to the left of Krill. Face-off won by the Redbirds. Here's a shot taken by Lechner. That one stopped, and the rebound comes out. Here comes Verbetsky over the line. He cuts into the slot, fires a shot. That one blocked by the Redbird defense. Lechner plays it over to the boards on the right side. O'Neill stolen away. Quick shot taken. That one gloved down as Barron got a good rip at one. Larkin Dolan makes the save, and the face-off will stay in the Redbird zone. 17:22 to play in the third. Redbirds still trailing 3-1. Unlike what we saw last night in baseball, where you can score 4 times in one play, Redbirds have got to do it one goal at a time. Here's a pass from Shidlowski, tipped over to the corner. And the Redbirds able to get to it. Now an intentional offside call as Finney played the puck and tried to deflect the lead pass. So the face-off will come out to neutral ice. Possibly, let's see what's going on. Going to be a roughing call. Going to be a roughing call made against the Pride. So the Redbirds will go on the power play. Illinois State back on the power play. Purdue Northwest penalty number 12, Michael Clough. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 2:48, third period. Pride penalty, Clough, 2 minutes for roughing at 2:48. So the Redbirds have it as they have the man advantage. Over the line comes Besetic. Aiden Besetic takes it to the corner. Wrapped around on the boards and held it at the line by the Redbirds, but not completely as Swiatek has to track back to get it. Redbirds back in over the line onside as Barghini moves in. Barghini sends it across for Swiatek at the top of the circle left side. Swiatek looks, dumps down low into the corner. Swiatek takes it all the way around. Here's a shot taken, that one off the side of the net. Rebound, finally controlled by the Pride, sent out but not cleared. Redbirds hold it in. Bogdan. Top of the circle, quick shot. That one blocked by the defense in front. Here's a shot again by Bogdan. That one just wide of the target. Now the puck cleared down by the Pride. And with 55 remaining in the power play, the Redbirds look to reset. Here's Switek. Moving through traffic. Gets in over the line. Fires. Blocker save made by Krill. Rebound kicked into the corner, left side. McIntyre goes after it. Schaefer holds it in. Schaefer over to O'Neill. O'Neill crisscrosses. Switek right side. Pass over to Dager. Dager at the circle. Fire. Save by Krill. Rebound out front. Switek a shot. That one just wide of the post. Rebound comes all the way out. Switek able to keep it in. Here's Dager with it in the circle. He'll skate back out to the point. Final 20 seconds of the power play. Dager sets it up for Schaefer. Back over to O'Neill. O'Neill top of the circle to Schaefer at the point. Schaefer holds, looks, fires. Saved by Krill, and he hangs on. 7 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Illinois State. 15-18 to play in period number 3. And the Redbirds still trailing by 2 to Purdue Northwest. Tricarico will step in to take the faceoff for Illinois State. Faceoff pushed into the corner on the left. Final 5 seconds of the power play is Schaefer. Dumps one in, tipped on Krill, and he makes the save. Rebound McDermott. He has it on the right side. Here's a shot just wide of the target, loose in front. Back over to get it is Declan McDermott. Sent right in front, another shot. That one stopped by Krill. Here's a shot by Tricarico from the point. That one stopped again by Krill. McDermott down low, looking to pass across. Swept away by the defense, and here come the Pride right back. Here's Finney over the line. Crisscrossing, knocked away by the Redbird defense. Into the corner left side. Carson Pishker gets to it for Illinois State. Back around. Here's Schaefer ahead to Tricarico. He gets pinched in by Barons. Puck goes into the corner. Pride able to control and try to take some pressure off of Krill. He's been peppered here in the last few minutes. Finney over the line. Moves in from the right side to the slot. Drops it off. Stolen back by Illinois State. Tricarico skates ahead of the play. Tricarico muscles in. Lost it for a moment. Now have to go back and get it to the Redbirds with 14:10 to play in period 3. Benji Rootguy will go get it. It'll be an icing call against Illinois State as the puck was cleared in from their half of the red line. Face-off will come all the way back into their end. 7-1 shots on goal so far in the period for the Redbirds, but they have yet to make an additional crack in the armor of Caleb Krill. Face-off won by the Redbirds. Zimmerman sends it out. It clears the line. It's dumped back in. Redbirds will get a free pass to play it. Dumped back in by Easton Tock for the Pride. Here's a quick shot. That one stopped by Dolan. Couldn't quite see who made that shot, but it was a good one as Caden Day saucers it ahead for Zimmerman. Zimmerman along the right boards got it to Pavel Bogdan. Bogdan holds and looks, trying to get it to center it. Gets stuck behind the net. Now gets free for a moment. Here's a quick shot by Callahan, blocked out front. Bogdan tries to hold it in, finally knocked out of the zone, but it goes into the bench area for Purdue Northwest. And a face-off coming up with 13:19 to play in period 3. The face-off will go into the Purdue Northwest zone. Callahan will step in and take the face-off for Illinois State. Face-off pushed into the corner. It's sent back around. Basetic lets it go to Callahan along the boards. Redbirds keep it in. Hopped over the stick of Callahan and finally picked up by the Pride, who send it out to center. Then Lechner sends it up ice. Redbirds have it as Basetic will move in. Basetic in the zone, drops it off for Bogdan. Bogdan takes it into the corner. Basetic is there, centering pass, nobody home. Stolen back by the Pride and dumped ahead. Here's Leduc racing ahead. Leduc centers back. Moving into Solberg, and they get Larkin Dolan off balance, but couldn't get a shot away, and the rebound picked up by the Illinois State Redbirds. Michael Lucia sets it up for the Pride as the centering pass goes awry. No one home for it as McIntyre was there. Here's Switek over the line. Comes in for Illinois State. Centering pass, Dager. Back behind the net it goes. Redbirds will get a change. Here's Gio Barghini. Leaves it for McDermott for a shot. That one stopped by Krill. Rebound loose out front. Finally picked up by the Pride. McDermott will finally get to it at center, and the Redbirds try to restart the attack with 12 minutes remaining in period 3. Krill will block that one aside with his goalie stick, and will keep the play alive. Here's McDermott. Fanned on a shot attempt or a pass attempt. It's knocked away and picked up by Cooper Knott. Into the corner on the right side it goes. Schaefer getting hounded by Knott. Finally taken away, and now a penalty coming up as a stoppage of play, and it's going to be a holding call against whom? It looks like it's going to be on Purdue Northwest. Going to be a holding call on Cooper Knott. So the Redbirds again going to the power play with an opportunity to get within a goal. Purdue Northwest penalty number 22, Cooper Knott, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalty, 8:29, third period. Pride penalty, Knott, 2 minutes for holding at 8:29. So the Redbirds on the power play is Cusick. Sent it down low, backhand shot, steered aside. McDermott had to go past him and goes all the way down the ice. Redbirds will reset. Minute and 35 for the power play, approaching 11 minutes remaining in period number 3. Redbirds trail 3-1. Here's Weinkauf moving through center over the line left side. Weinkauf takes it all the way around, goes to the right side to Dager. Now at the top, Schaefer. Back to Dager at the top of the circle. Sent down low for a pass out front. Cusick couldn't handle it, and it's cleared the length of the ice by Jared Topol. 65 remaining in the man advantage for Illinois State. Redbirds start from out behind their own net as Schaefer has it. Jackson Schaefer ahead to Switek. He gets hounded by the forecheck for the Pride, and he'll spin it back for a moment and reset. Here's a pass tip. McIntyre with a steal. McIntyre tried to draw it for a shot. The Redbirds able to get to it. Here's Pockton ahead to Barghini. Barghini cuts to the center, knocked away for a moment. Redbirds try to hold it in. As Truxaw moves in, he couldn't control it, and it's picked up by Jacob Switek. Switek will reset. Final 25 of the power play for Illinois State. Barghini sets things up for Bogdan. A little too strong on the pass. It's taken away and sent back into the Redbird end in 15 seconds. The penalty will be over. Again, the Pride with a strong forecheck. This power play opportunity for Illinois State. Limit the Illinois State opportunities, and the penalty is over. Both teams are back at full strength. We are under 10 minutes to play in period number 3 with the Pride of Purdue Northwest leading 3-1 over Illinois State. Basetic, nice lead pass, gets in the line, fires. That one wide of the target. Caden Day tries to track down the rebound. Zimmerman pinches in, lost it. Redbirds able to backtrack and get to it. Here's Basetic with it. Touches it ahead for Truxaw, and offside is going to be the call as Barghini looked like he was just one stride ahead of that play. And the offside call made against Illinois State will bring the faceoff out to neutral ice. (8-2) the shot advantage for Illinois State so far in the period as the faceoff won. All the way back, Shidlowski gets it for the Pride. Redbirds pressuring, but Finney gets away. Ahead to Barron. Barron cuts into the slot, had it knocked away for a moment, into the corner. He'll track it down. Zimmerman there. Redbirds deny the pass opportunity out front. Caden Day will muscle away from the puck and try to clear it out of his own end. It's held in for a moment, now finally cleared out as Day was able to wrestle it away. He wrestled it away from Michael Clough. Now the Redbirds in for a shot. That one blocked by the defense. Day picks up the rebound at the top of the circle. His pass deflected and stolen. Here come the Pride once again. Here's Finney over the line. Drops it back for Clough. Clough centers it out front. Nobody home. Finney will go back to get it. Sends it across. Here's a shot knocked away by Dolan. Redbirds able to get it and clear out of the zone. Tricarico moves forward into the Pride end. Redbirds have it. Caden Day with a shot. That one tipped. Went wide of the target. Schaefer at the line holds it in. Spins away from pressure. Sends it back up the boards left side. Redbirds trying to keep it in. Can't. Here's Easton Tock over the line. Tock will cut into the slot. Fire. Saved by Dolan. And he hangs on. 7:40 remaining in the third. Redbirds being outscored 3-1 thus far. They've had some opportunities here in this third period, but have not been able to get anything past Caleb Krill yet. Redbirds' only goal came at 10:24 of the first period as Gio Barghini got his 6th of the year. Face-off. One as the quick shot by Bagnoli was blocked off into the corner left side. Rutkai back down to get it. Benji Rutkai leaves it in the corner. Back behind the net it goes. Centering pass out front. Big shot. Larkin Dolan made the save, and Topol had a chance but broke his stick, and the Redbirds able to clear it the length of the ice. It'll be an icing call against Illinois State. Now some more lumber being picked up from behind the Redbird net. As our linemen will skate over and hand the stick off to one of the bench personnel for Purdue Northwest. Caleb Krill able to go over for a moment and get some refreshment. As the draw is won, Hobbs has it at the point. Pride have it. Here's a shot. Dolan makes the glove save, and he hangs on. As Solberg had the opportunity that time and took the wrist shot from the circle. And with 7:11 to play in the third, Redbirds down by 2 goals. Jager will take the face-off against McIntyre. Hobbs has it at the line. Back down behind the net. Pride come away with it as Solberg had it taken away. 3-on-2 at the Redbirds Hurley. Switek over to Barghini, and Switek was in early. An offside call against Illinois State will bring the face-off back out to neutral ice. Under 7 now to play in the contest. Face-off pushed into the Pride zone. Powell back to get it. Dumped into center where Lechner is there for Illinois State. Illinois State able to dump it in. It was tipped, so no icing. Easton Tock back to get it for Purdue Northwest. Quickly ahead to McIntyre. Splits the defense. McIntyre in. Centering pass across. Nobody home. Back behind the net it goes. Illinois State gets to it as Lechner. Sends it forward out of the zone. Barghini couldn't quite handle it. Now Truxaw has it. Sam Truxaw plays it ahead away from Feeney. As the Redbirds finally dump it in. Krill steers it back behind his own goal line. Here's Powell. Lead pass ahead. Couldn't quite get it to Clough. And back to get it for Illinois State is Brian Buckholz. Here's a shot. That one in front. McIntyre off the steal gets a shot. It was wide of the target. Clough behind the net. Brings it back out to the circle on the boards right side. Pushed back into the corner. 5:35 to play in the third. Here's a centering pass. Paddled aside by Larkin Dolan. Redbirds have it. Here's Switek moving in. Switek had it swept, checked away into the corner. Redbirds hold it in as Buchholz keeps it on the right boards. Buchholz tries to hold it in. Now it's stolen back by the Pride and sent out to center ice. Anthony Bagnoli moves into the corner. We approach 5 minutes remaining in regulation, 3-1. Purdue Northwest leads it. Here's Switek. Sending it across, couldn't quite control it. It's dumped back in by the Pride. Bagnoli. Left corner has it. Redbirds trying to get to it as Bogdan. Sends it forward, Callahan has it. Here's Ryan Callahan over the line. Callahan takes it to the circle, fires, saved by Krill. Rebound goes right in front and then swept into the corner. Comes out to the right side and the Redbirds have to track it down. Jackson Schaefer gets hounded on the forecheck and Declan McDermott has to help him out. McDermott couldn't quite get it out. Now Declan McDermott picks it up at center. McDermott moves in with a centering pass. That one missed Pishker. Puck goes into the corner and the Pride come away with it. Here's Leduc racing ahead. Leduc moving in, centers and scores. Colin Leduc fired it right in the middle of the net. And Larkin Dolan unable to stop it, and it's 4-1 Purdue Northwest. Purdue Northwest goal is second of the game and second of the season, scored by number 32, Colin Leduc. Assisted by number 21, Brody McIntyre, and number 48, Baden Powell. Time of the goal, 15:59, third period. Pride goal scored by Leduc, assisted by McIntyre and Powell at 15:59. So now 4-1 as the shot taken by Lechner goes wide of the target. Here's a quick return by Truxall. That one goes wide as well. Back behind the net, Tricarico has it. Tricarico brings it out front, now tied up along the side of the net and covered up by Caleb Krill. Now some pushing and shoving as Tricarico getting better acquainted with one of the defenders from Purdue Northwest. And they'll break things up and head to their respective areas, and we'll have a face-off in the Pride zone. So the face-off will be in the Pride zone. It'll be to the left of Caleb Krill. There's the face-off as Illinois State couldn't control it. It's sent ahead and picked up by Clough. Tracked down by Buchholz. Zimmerman will play it along the boards. Held in, Barron to Finney. Redbirds get control of it. Here's Cusick going the line. Cusick moves in, centers one. It's knocked away by the Pride, and here's Clough in. Clough will take it to the net. He scores. Michael Clough got ahead of the pack, and he puts one past Larkin Dolan. It's 5-1 Purdue Northwest. Purdue Northwest goal, his 5th of the season, scored by number 12, Michael Clough. Assisted by number 92, Brock Barron, and number 25, Carson Finney. Time of the goal, 17-16, third period. Pride goal scored by Clough, assisted by Barron and Finney at 17-16. So a penalty coming up against Purdue Northwest as the Redbirds will go on the power play. Going to be a high sticking call against Carson Finney. Purdue Northwest penalty, number 25, Carson Finney, 2 minutes for high sticking. Time of the penalty, 17:29, third period. Pride penalty, Finney, 2 minutes for high sticking at 17:29. Puck is sent all the way down the ice, and the Redbirds will have to retrieve it. 2:10 remaining in regulation. Minute 35 for the Redbird power play. As Tricarico lets it go by. Now he picks it up on a centering pass. Backhand blocked into the corner. Back out to the top. Pishker holds and looks on the right point. Looks to send it down low. Off the boards, Day picks it up. Day looks to center. Spins back behind the net. Now back to the right side with it. Day tried to center. Picked up by Callahan. To Day. Day behind the net, sends it out, and nobody's there at the point to keep it in. Final 60 seconds of the power play, 90 seconds remaining in the contest. Pishker sends it forward. Besenik tried to tip it, and it's finally dumped back down by the Pride. Ben Lechner has it for Illinois State. Lechner moves forward, gets it ahead to Caden Day, who will dump it into the Pride zone. Krill holds it up behind his own net. Redbirds trying to save it along the boards. Redbirds move away and try to center it out front. It's blocked again as Besenik has it down low. Looking for Day out front, blocked away and sent out to neutral ice. Racing ahead comes Solberg. Solberg moves in, fires that one high and wide of the target. Under 1 minute remaining in the period, under a minute remaining. 36.9 to be precise, as the penalty coming up is going to be on Will Tricarico. Is it going to be on Tricarico or is it going to be on Caden Day? So 2 penalties against Illinois State will wipe out the power play opportunity. And now it'll be a 4-on-3 power play for Purdue Northwest. Illinois State penalties on number 12, Will Tricarico, and number 81, Caden Day. 2 minutes each for slashing. Time of the penalties, 19:23, third period. Redbird penalties, Tricarico and Day, 2 minutes each for slashing at 19:23. Final 15 seconds of this one as Hobbs will move in over the line. Hobbs drops it back. Root guy has it, fires one, save made by Larkin Dolan. And 8.9 seconds remain in this one. Now a 5-on-3 power play as the penalty to Finney is over. And the face-off going to be pushed out front. Now a whistle stopping play with 5.2. As Larkin Dolan able to keep the puck away from a crashing attempt in front of the net. Looks like Solberg was trying to crash in and get a last-second goal, possibly. Final 5 seconds of this one as the Redbirds take the draw into the corner, and that'll do it for the contest. Your final score of tonight's ACHA Division I matchup, the Pride of Purdue Northwest 5 and your Illinois State Redbirds 1. Shots on goal in the third period, 11 for the Pride, 11 for the Redbirds. 3 period totals, 33 for Purdue Northwest, 33 for Illinois State. So the shots even at 33 apiece in the contest. And the final score goes to the Purdue Northwest Pride. 5-1. They scored twice in the third period, all in the final 4 minutes. At the 4:01 mark of the third, it was Colin LeDuc getting his second of the game and the season. The assist going to Brody McIntyre and to Baden Powell. And the final goal of the contest was the fifth of the year by Michael Clough. The assist going to Brock Barron and to Carson Finney. 5-1, our final score in tonight's contest. A reminder that next weekend the Redbirds will be on the road for Halloween. They will be traveling to Ohio to take on the Bobcats. They'll be back on home ice next weekend here at the the following weekend, on the 7th and 8th of November at the Bloomington Ice Center for 2 matchups between themselves and the Drury University Panthers. 7 o'clock Friday the 7th and 6:10 on Saturday the 8th. I will be with you on Friday that day, but not Saturday. We do have some final business to take care of. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's DPDO player of the game for your Illinois State Redbirds with a goal is number 20, Gio Barghini. A reminder, fans, there's a zone for everyone. Everyone's in the zone at DPDO on Buford Street in Uptown Normal. So DPDO player of the game, Gio Barghini, picking up his 6th goal of the season, tied for team best with Sam Truxaw now in that department. So again, your final 5-1 in favor of the Pride of Purdue Northwest. Illinois State Redbird fans, we thank you for joining us on this Hall of Fame induction Saturday. We certainly hope you enjoyed our presentation for you tonight. Purdue Northwest fans, we thank you for joining us tonight, and we certainly know you enjoyed the results. Your final score on this Saturday night in downtown Bloomington, the Pride of Purdue Northwest 5 and your Illinois State Redbirds 1. For everyone here at the Bloomington Ice Center, I'm L.A. Decker, thanking you for joining us. We will see you on the 7th of November. Until that time, good night, everybody.